Welcome back to the Jo Ellis Effect. Thank you so much for everyone who listened to my last episode. I'm so excited to be doing these more often. First, sponsor today, we've got Canada Dry, zero sugar, a little ASMR for you. That tastes so refreshing. It's so amazing. I just want more bubbles in the bubblies. Okay, moving on. So many fun updates since last week, even. It's crazy. Last minute, I got invited to do a dating show with Kim Congdon. She was hosting it, and it was to win a date with the lovely Dulce Mac, which gorgeous. And I won. How crazy is that? There was some really cool people on the panel and other people competing, even Jay Legend, Dean Stanfield, Tanner, Emiglio. It was so much fun. I had such a blast doing it, and I can't believe that I won. There was people on the panel. There was Tim Butterly, Kim Congdon, which was hosting it, of course. Hans Kim was there. I got to meet Hans, and that was really fun. And also, the winner of Lucky AF on Netflix, Ron Taylor, was there. And so I got to meet him too, and he was on the panel, and it was just so much fun. I had so much fun. I had to do a few minutes of stand-up, and then I had to answer a question, and then I had to do like a talent. And so my talent was cracking open a fresh jar of cherry preserves. And the joke there is that I'm the best of both worlds. I'm emotionally available and I can still open jars. And also like, pop in my cherry type thing. And I don't think Dulce's into girls or trans women, but it was fun. It was fun either way. And so I can't believe I won. It was such a blast. Some folks from the mothership showed up at the end, which was really cool. Brian Redban was there at the end, and then I saw Brian Holtzman, and he came up to me and wanted to get a picture of me because there's this funny joke, kind of inside joke with his brother. But anyway, so I got a nice photo with him, and it was really sweet. He's such a sweet guy, Holtzman. I hope one day maybe I can open for him at one of his shows. His shows are pretty wild. He does like Thursday nights at the mothership. They call it the dark side of the mothership. His crowd seems like could handle a crazy trans person. But it was so much fun. And then also right after that, the next day, I drove out 4 hours to Tyler, Texas to do shows with Jason Ellis. How crazy is that? Jason Ellis is former top 10 skateboarder in the world, fighter, hosts Sirius XM shows, podcasts, TV shows. He's done so much in his life, and the last 5 or 6 years he's been doing comedy. And so we had this running joke all weekend that he was my dad because we have the same last name, and that was so much fun. And then we went to a skate park, and I had brought my board because I kind of dabble in skating, and I'm nowhere close to as good as him, of course. But it was so much fun to like skateboard with such a legend, and it's kind of like, I don't know, like a little dream come true. Like skateboarding with one of the best skateboarders in the world. How cool is that? Like every day is a pinch me moment. It feels like in my life, and I'm just having such a blast. The shows were great in Tyler. Shout out to Rose City Comedy. Christopher, who runs it, and then Chance, who was also there helping us out. They were fantastic. The whole staff there was amazing. The people in Tyler were amazing. So many people came out to see us, and I didn't know what to expect with Tyler, but it was actually really fun. So if you get a chance, go and either see comedy at Rose City Comedy Club or try to get on one of their shows if you're a comedian, because it was such a blast and they really take care of you. Shout out to Jacob Marshall, who was hosting our show for us. He's a really cool guy, really funny comedian. So I got to meet him as well. He's from like the Dallas area. And then Jason's also booked for Plano, Texas in July, and so I get to follow him there too. So the father-daughter duo is going back to perform in Plano, and that's going to be so much fun. July 22nd, so grab your tickets. That was just one weekend. Had a wonderful time winning a date with Dulce Mac, and then the next day drove out to Tyler, and I did first time doing longer sets. I prepared for 20 minutes because that's what I was told, but then when the show lineup got set up, it was actually only 15. But still, I haven't done 15-minute sets because where does a new comedian get a chance to do that? Like nowhere. They're always 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 8 minutes, 10 minutes. Like 10 minutes was like my jam for a while because that was the longest sets I was being given. And so it was really cool to do 15. The first night, I did it a little too quick. But then the second night, I had some local material that I'd written that actually did really well opening the show. So I had about 5 minutes of just local stuff that I wrote and performed. And then so I had plenty of material into 15 minutes. I could have gone to 20 minutes, no problem. So that's really reassuring for me as a new comedian that I can do that much time. And after 2 nights, I felt super confident doing 15 plus minutes with the material I have, and also playing around with a little bit more crowd work. Because when you're only doing short sets, like you have to decide: do I try new material at these mics, or do I try crowd work? You don't get a whole lot of options to do both really well. So it's always like, and it feels like you're also constantly being evaluated at the mics, at least in Austin, because there's bookers and there's clubs that, like sought after open mics you're trying to get on. So it's also, believe it or not, it's rare that I go to some of these open mics and actually try new material. I've started doing that more and more lately, but I usually just call my ex-wife and run jokes by her and then try them on stage and they do well. Um, but it's fun to kind of like futz around with ideas that aren't really baked yet and that I haven't tried in conversation and just try at these open mics because for so long you're like, well, I need them to see my best stuff because this open mic will book for the showcase this weekend. So you're just constantly running the same material over and over. It's good material, but you kind of get tired of it and then you wonder if they're thinking that's all you know how to do. It's kind of a mind game. So it was cool to go out of town and do 15 minutes of my best material, but also write for that weekend and write for the local area, which is like a fun exercise. And that's like probably a common skill for like corporate events and stuff, because you would write about the company maybe or try to do something related, to make them feel special. But one joke I think I might be able to turn into a universal joke and use anywhere. So I'll try that. I am on an open mic tonight at Roscoe's Comedy Club, so maybe I'll try it there, opening up with just that little riff about Tyler, Texas that I had done. But it was so much fun. It was so much fun. It's just crazy. Opening, featuring for Jason Ellis, and then also getting rebooked for July in Plano with him. Okay, let's just put it this way. Since I've been to Texas, I headlined No Kings in Austin, which was thousands of people, doing a comedy rally speech hybrid. And then I piloted my show, Friendly Fire, April 30th at the Creek in the Cave. Went really well. Now it's a monthly show. I then opened for Sam Tripoli at Hyenas in Fort Worth. That went really well. And then Sam was such a sweetheart. And when he was in town again, he met me for lunch and gave me like a nice little mentoring session, which was really helpful for me as a new comedian. And then featured for Jason Ellis in Tyler, Texas for 2 nights, and then got rebooked for another show with him. And that's since March. I've only been here for 3 months, and I only just quit my job last week. Like literally Thursday was the last day at my job, and I got put on that dating show that night and then went to a weekend of shows and got paid. So it was like, okay, like quitting my job while it's scary, I know was the right choice because I immediately had so much to do to fill that time. And in fact, I haven't worked since Thursday, but every day I'm busy. Like I'm waking up, I'm cutting clips, I'm recording stuff like this. I sold some merch on my website, so I need to mail some stuff. Like And then I've got my memoir that I'm still writing and working with my agent on. It's just wild because I'm like, oh, maybe I'll have a little extra time, but like you can really just be busy. Like I don't know how I did it all on top of my job, and now it's like it just expands to fill the time you have available. I think that's what they call oh, what was that guy? Parkinson's law. I don't know why it's called Parkinson's because it sounds like it would be kind of shaky. But no. Um, Parkinson's law. So that is the concept where if you have a paper due on Friday, it takes you until Friday to do it. But if you find out the paper is due tomorrow, you can still somehow get it done in time. And so I feel like with quitting my job, now I've got more time, but now I'm going to fill it with all the stuff that I wasn't able to do before, whether it's working on my website, selling merch, rebooking, promoting, uh, emailing comedy clubs every day, trying to see if I can't get on shows. Yeah, and that's kind of where I'm at right now, right? Like I'm getting some traction. I'm getting some really cool open feature spots, but mostly if I know the headliner and they have room available for me, not so much clubs putting me on it, although I have been put on a Creek Live, which is awesome. So shout out to the Creek for putting me on one of their shows as well. And so I'm just really working towards getting those regular club spots. A, because it shows progression, but B, it's going to help me get even better because I'm going to have more time to work on stuff, work out stuff, I mean, on stage. And then also just get those reps in that are a little bit more valuable than some of these open mics I go to. And so that's the goal. Like if I could really shoot for the next year, my goal would be to make Friendly Fire show bigger and then also get some sort of regularship at either Creek or the Mothership or a few clubs around where I can just rotate like some of these comics. That's really my goal. Like being a door guy at the Mothership would be incredible. Like that'd be so neat to get that opportunity to work in that club and hone my skills and get better. But also, I just love the staff there and everybody there is so sweet. But also at the Creek, they don't really do a door guy system, but staying regular as far as getting booked there would be great. But at the same time, I'm so thankful for the show they let me do there. And I'm meeting people by booking my show, which is great. And then also, I know where I want to be and get to, and I know my work ethic as a military person, pilot, CrossFitter, like hard work is my thing. It's my jam. And so I I work very hard and I expect results. And I think some people don't expect that or don't know how to handle someone who is a go-getter in this space. And so I get some of the pushback sometimes of like, oh, you've only been doing it for a year, or, it takes 7 years before this or that. And sure, just like being a pilot, a 1 year pilot versus a 7 year pilot, right? Like there's always things that you're never going to know until time. But there are differences between 1 year pilots. And so I feel the same way with comedy. Like, yes, I'm only 1 year in, but I want to be the best 1 year in comic. I want to be the best second year comic that I can be, because that's who I am. Is go after it, get as best as you can at it. Like, um, pretty much engulf yourself in your new thing and absorb into it as much as you can. Wake up, eat, sleep, drink, writing and comedy and performing, and go at it for a year or two, like hard like that, and then back off a little bit, right, and evaluate where you're at. And so I think that's where my headspace is. I'm 1 year in, which doesn't seem like much, but in my mind, I feel like I could be further along in 1 year. And I just need to keep working hard, keep asking for opportunities. But then also, I feel like some people are really stuck on this duration thing as the metric. And it's like, well, just watch my stuff. If you don't like it, I'm not funny, fair, but don't tell me it's only because I'm 1 year in. Maybe that's a reason why you don't like it, but just stopping me at, oh, you need to be 3 years in. Okay, yeah, that's like a good metric, but what are the other metrics? Like, do you get laughs? Do you sell tickets? Like, I do those things. Now I'm not great, and I have nights when I bomb, and just like everybody. And I'm not asking to be put ahead of anyone who is there, but it's more of a, if there's a spot for me or you have a space, like, give me a shot. Put me in, coach. I won't disappoint you. I'll show up on time. I'll work hard, and I'll come back with more stuff. I'll learn from it, and I'll apply lessons to the next time. And you will see me, progressing. And once I hit a ceiling and I'm not really progressing anymore, I will ask for help. I will reach out and be like, what do I need to do? And I'm a sucker for feedback. And so that was what was really cool about Sam Tripoli giving me feedback. It's like, this is what I want. I crave criticism, like something I can think about and work on, because it will make me better. That's how we are as pilots. We're constantly evaluated. There's always something you can find to do better for next time. And that's what I take to comedy. And I think some people just aren't comfortable with that kind of cycle of feedback, but I am. So let me have it. Give it to me raw and crispy, raw or crispy, and then put me back up on stage and see how I roll with the feedback. So shout out to Dan French, who's been helping me with that as well, at the Comedy Accelerator, which is like a writer's workshop slash comedy workshop that he runs Saturdays and Sundays. And just trying to get in the mindset of thinking comedically all the time, because before I had to keep switching back and forth from work to being silly, as I call it. And now I can just be silly all the time. Like, my brain is constantly looking for material and finding funny and everything. And then there's sometimes when I'm just exhausted and I just want to chill and go shoot pool with people. I've been seeing this girl and we've been playing a lot of pool, and while I wasn't much of a pool fan, it's fun to play with her and get something else to kind of like focus on, of like, oh, can I be better this time that isn't just jokes. Now I want to talk about Tony Hinchcliffe's special, Man of the People. I am so angry. I'm so angry at Tony Hinchcliffe. He had every opportunity to do the right thing, and instead, what did he do? Not a single trans joke. Not a single trans joke. He only said the word trans once to say he knows trans people or has trans friends. Good for you, Tony. Some of your trans friends, some of the trans people me, expected better of you. Okay, we expected some jokes. I've heard some of your trans jokes in clubs, and they're funny. There's one about a barista, and I loved it. And it didn't make the cut, I guess. Like, come on, Tony. I really wanted to jump up and defend you and say, nuh-uh, Tony loves trans people. That was a great joke. I had this whole speech lined up, and you ruined it. You took that from me, which is actually kind of transphobic. So I'm saying it now. Tony Hinchcliffe is transphobic. He doesn't like trans people. Otherwise, he would have made fun of trans people in his special. Speaking of Tony Hinchcliffe and controversy, the roast of Kevin Hart is still trending because of the back and forth. And let me just say, Chelsea Handler, you don't need to be offended on other people's behalf for jokes, okay? They don't need a white savior. You're good. And if you think he's all these things, give people a shot. What are you doing for that community other than saying stuff online about it? How many trans people have you given comedic opportunities to? How many disabled people? How many black people? How many, you name the race, right? And the same goes for you too, Marc Maron. I remember that last year when you were saying, oh, transphobic this. How many trans comedians did you have on your podcast, Marc Maron? If you want to take care of groups of people and be the social justice warriors that you claim to be, how about you give trans comedians more opportunities on your #1 comedy shows in the world? Oh, wait. You don't have one. So you can sit there on all these podcasts, you can sit down your nice fancy couches and go, oh, Tony doesn't do this for people, Tony doesn't do that for people. Tony's got the most DEI lineup of anybody out there. Just look at even his Killers of Kill Tony tour. You know, where all the regulars from Kill Tony go around and sell out shows and theaters. Asian, black, disabled. No trans person yet, but we're working on it. It's like a full, like, diversity lineup. And I'm sorry, but, like, I haven't seen you, Chelsea, or Mark do anything for trans comedians. Where is my chance to perform on one of your shows? Like, I got bookings right after being on Kill Tony. I got booked to open for national headliners. It's fun to sit there in your ivory towers and talk crap about people who are crushing. And maybe because you're not crushing yourselves, maybe that's why you feel the need to say something. I think Shane Gillis said it best. This is a big moment for Chelsea. I'm glad she's capitalizing. Good for her. We're all rooting for her. Put your money where your mouth is. I want to see you put together a showcase of all the most woke or PC or whatever friendly you need of black, gay, lesbian, transgender, whatever. Put it together. I would love to see that. Same thing with you too, Marc Maron. And if you want to help someone, I know a trans comedian that would love to open for you. Jo Ellis. Hit me up. I will gladly open for you. And if you do well, I will give you the same thing that I've given people like Sam Tripoli and other folks. One official T-Slur pass. Signed by yours truly. Let's see it. I'll check my DMs. Well, that's all for me, folks. Thank you for joining. I hope these shorter, more frequent podcasts are better. Go check out my merch on my website, joellisreally.com. I've got these cool keychains. They just came in, and I'm really excited. One of them already sold already, so you can buy some of those to support me and my comedy pursuits. I am jobless, so I could use it. In the meantime, Chelsea Handler, give me a call if you want to help out. If you want to be my little savior, I could use it. Anyhow, thank you all.